She was just brilliant on the show. She played Hope Bennett. Please welcome to the stage, Alexa Mansour. So, how's it going?
It's good.
So, can I see your shirt? What does it say? It says...
Anxiety is my cardio, because it is.
I can totally relate to that. This is my first time moderating panels in 2 years. It's probably a lot of our first times being outside for a while. How are you guys doing? Are you enjoying the convention? Yeah, being back among the people. And how many conventions have you been to?
This is my second one. I did Comic-Con in New York in 2019, but our show hadn't come out yet, so no one really knew who we were. But it was fun.
So you guys all got up and did a spiel about the show and everything?
We did it after 3 nights of night shoots. I got off at 3 a.m. the night before, was on a flight by 4:30, in New York by 6 a.m., and did not go to sleep until 1 a.m. that night. So
I feel like that's the life of an actor, is like so busy sometimes.
Yeah.
Right? Especially when you're shooting, you have to have good time management.
Oh yeah, and know how to get to sleep.
And take care of yourself and everything.
That one's hard.
Are you good at that stuff?
For the most part, I'm pretty good at keeping a routine when I'm working.
Mm-hmm.
You know, wake up, work out, go to set, come home, go to bed.
I mean, I feel like I have so much less to do in my life than you, and I still can't manage to do that. So I'm impressed. All right. So, now that you're here at the convention and people have seen the show, I'm kind of curious, like, what are people saying when they come up to you?
They're saying that they found the characters really relatable and that they saw a little piece of themselves in the characters, which I think is really nice. Because I've always said that I want to do projects where people can see themselves in it, it feels realistic. And I know it was a zombie apocalypse in the show. We're not going through that. But
Close.
Oh my God. I feel like we're on the tail end of it. I think we're slowly crawling out of it.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's one of the things about just The Walking Dead in general. People are like, I don't want to watch a horror show, but their friends tell them to get into it, and then they realize that it's a drama where you can relate to the characters. Yeah. And I also think that, do you have much experience with one-on-one experience or face-to-face with Matt Negretti, who is the showrunner for the show, by the way?
He is amazing. I spoke to him a lot during the show. We even grabbed dinner like with the cast and stuff when everyone was in LA. He is such a nice person and just made the process so much easier than what I thought it was going to be, you know, because you sign on to any job where you don't know your coworkers, you don't know the people running it, and it just felt like a family right from the get-go.
And I would imagine like he kind of maybe sets the tone for the show and everything. Yeah. I just felt like he had such a great handle on the characters.
Oh, yeah. He did. He hit the nail on the coffin. Every single character was so different from the other, you know, that he just kind of hit every kind of person on the show.
I think Hope and Iris almost kind of crossed over. Like Hope started out as the rebel and Iris was straight-laced. Yeah. And they kind of switched a little bit. Yeah,
they did. There was, I got a question for an interview asking about that whole idea of Iris becoming more rebellious and Hope becoming more of like a straight-edge kind of person. And, you know, I think it's great sometimes if you're allowed to change, you know, and you're allowed to be different. You don't have to stick to that one thing that people want you to be. And I thought that was great that they kind of switched spots and got to experience it.
Which, like, how are you personally? How different or similar to the character are you?
Yeah, I think I am Hope inside and out. Just when I read the script, when I tested, everything that she was about was me when I was her age. You know, I was that angsty teen. I didn't get along with people. I followed authority. I've always been scared of breaking the rules. But aside from that, I feel like it was made for me.
Are you a scientific genius?
No. Okay. So I'm Hope season 1.
Okay.
Season 2 is a different story.
I was so glad that Hope ended up coming up with this, like adding yeast to fungus to accelerate the decay of the zombie, whatever, because I was like, okay, she's the asset, she's special, but we haven't really seen why. And then you see that, it's like, okay, she just jumped in with both feet, right? Did you kind of know that was going to happen from the start?
I had no idea. We didn't know what was going to happen in season 2, you know, and I think that maybe season 1 alluded to season 2 a little bit, but for the most part, I didn't think I was the asset. When I found out at the end of the season, I was like, this is so cool.
Yes, I'm the asset. That is so cool. Let's see. Well, I forgot to mention that this is not about me. It's about you guys. I usually say that right at the beginning. And there's a microphone right over there. So if you have questions, go for it. Yeah, line up. Or you know what? We're in such a small place. Yeah, I'll take that back. We'll raise hands. Sorry, Greg. So what you got? Can you first just let us know your name and where you're from? We can talk if you want. Cool.
Mm-hmm. Right. Mm-hmm. I think just playing Hope the way that I would be in real life, you know, it didn't really feel so much like acting, because every scene that I got, I would play it as if I was Alexa. That is my personality for the most part. And I think that was something that they did really well with all the teenage characters, where you see a lot of shows and they're trying to touch on what's going on in the world and all that, and they're very obvious about it. They're trying to be woke, is like what people say. I feel like if you're just true to yourself and you don't need to be using certain words to get a certain point out there, you're just kind of being real in that sense. And I think that's why it was so relatable, because there wasn't anything forced in the show.
Yeah, it didn't feel like it was trying to preach or be super, I don't know, like some shows feel like trying to be super cute, or I don't know, just being real. Yeah. Greg?
Hi, I'm Greg. So one of the things that I loved about The World Beyond was that it was not open-ended, right? So it was like, hey, we knew it was going to be 2 seasons from the very beginning. It was the beginning of a story, the end of a story. Like we obviously haven't seen, I hope, the end of your characters yet. Hopefully we'll see them sometime in the future. But given that it is the end of the show, typically what would end up happening, or what I've heard people do, is actors will take mementos or whatever off of a set, either given or stolen. Do you have, like, what's your favorite memento from the set or from the show that you took home or got posted up on your wall or whatever?
Just for the recording, he's asking, what did you steal from the show?
I stole a couple things. I took my chair that said Hope on it, not the actual chair, but like the tag, and I also got my S-pole. So I got to take that home with me, yeah.
Nice.
Do you have it hung up?
I have it stuffed in a corner just in case anyone ever tries to break in.
Could come in handy. That would be horrible, of course. Hi.
Hi, my name is Hanukkah, and I'm from here in Atlanta.
Cool.
One of the things that I loved about the show was the relationship between Hope and Iris. You have these 2 sisters who were raised with the same parents, but they are obviously very different. But what I liked about the show was that they did not necessarily portray these teenage girls in an antagonistic way, which is what we're used to seeing with teenage girls. Was that something that was a conscious decision on the writer's part, or did that just come from the way that you and Aaliyah played those characters?
Aaliyah's great. When I met her for the first time, I didn't know she got the job. I was in Virginia, and I get a call, and she's like, hey, I'm playing your sister. Can you help me with a video or something? And I was like, oh, sure. And I thought it was someone completely different. And I see Aaliyah, and I was like, oh, thank God it's you. Because, long story. But anyways, I don't know if it was a conscious decision, but I think the whole plot line of the show is you don't get to pick your family, or you can pick your family in a way. You know what I mean? Like the family that you're born with isn't necessarily your family. I think it's whoever you feel closest to and the most comfortable with. And that show portrayed that really well. That we weren't related, you know, we had different parents, whatever. But at the same time, it's like if you love someone and you care about someone, you don't have to be family to have those feelings for them.
Mm-hmm. I think it's really interesting because I feel like that theme is playing out on The Walking Dead proper too. All these people who are just so close in their family, but they're not related. And I think, you know, there's that whole hashtag TWD family. You see that? And I feel like that sprung up from the community and the conventions and everything like this, what we're having right now. And I kind of wonder if the writers of the show picked up on that and started building it into the show. I don't know.
I think there's a lot of subtle things in our show that kind of alluded to the original Walking Dead, and maybe that was something that they planned out, but I don't know.
It's a good theme. So you're a fan, though, right, of the original show?
I am. It came out, I think, when I was 11. Around 11. Yeah.
10, 12 years ago.
Yeah. I started watching it, and it started giving me nightmares, so I had to stop watching it. But I loved the show. I think I was really into it for the first couple seasons, and then, you know, life happens and you kind of drift away from shows.
But I think I read that you auditioned a few times.
Oh my God. It got to the point that when they called me in, I was like, I'm not going to go unless they're going to hire me, because this is the 17th time that I'm auditioning for The Walking Dead.
Literally?
I swear to God. It was every single time a new character came up, I was there.
They liked you, but they just thought it wasn't.
There was always something that wasn't.
You're like, right. I don't think she's Chandler, right? Just.
She's definitely not Judith Grimes. So.
Is that what you were gonna?
No. I can't.
You don't even know, right? Like.
No, everything's
during the
fake.
audition. Yeah.
Everything's fake. I think Hope's name in the audition was like Elizabeth or Lisbeth.
What did they have you doing?
In the audition, it was dummy sides, and it was me walking down this like deserted street with a garden gnome, and this cop comes up to me and he's like, you can't keep stealing gnomes off of people's lawns, what are you doing? And I'm just like doing this whole story like my dad left me and all this kind of stuff, like totally unrelated, but you could tell that Hope was like a tainted person, you know, so from the get-go Hope was just like a little broken soul, bit
of a troublemaker.
Yeah.
Somebody made, okay, so yes, your relationship with Iris was really, really good and emotional. That's another thing about the show, very emotional show. And I was just, to kind of refresh myself, watching the final episode last night and saw the goodbye scene between the two of you. And I was kind of wondering if you brought some of your feelings about the show being over into that scene.
I think we all did.
Yeah,
everyone was really emotional after we wrapped that scene.
It felt real.
It was real.
Yeah.
And funny thing is, that wasn't the last scene that we shot. Everything's out of order. But doing that, it just kind of felt like it was over.
And then you got to do more.
Yeah, and then you're like, oh, okay, well, 4 a.m. tomorrow. Sounds good.
I saw another hand. Hi.
Hey.
Cool.
I hope so. I really hope so. AMC, you here?
Now, I think when World Beyond was first announced, it was just announced as a series, but then before it ever even premiered, they said, oh, it's only going to be 2 years. So was that not originally the plan, or do you know?
Between me and you guys, I signed a 7-season contract.
Oh.
So it was, I think it was just stuff that was higher up that we couldn't control, you know? And I guess Walking Dead was kind of coming to its final season and all that.
So they changed the plans?
Yeah.
It's a bummer.
Oh, I was at the car dealership about to sign a contract, and I get the call, and they're like, yeah, so you're 2 seasons. And I was like, all right, well, I can't get this car.
Man. Yeah, because I want to find out what happens with the whole science station and in Portland and all that stuff.
I mean, Hope and Leo can't just come up with a cure and then be done.
I noticed that whenever they would talk about the cure and curing, they would always say, the work that we're doing now will bear fruit for our children and children's children. And I figure that was AMC being like, don't make it seem like this is going to end because we never want it to end.
Better be.
Yeah, I would love to see like Hope and all those people show up on this new Tales of the Walking Dead anthology, right? Something like that. the story feels unfinished and it's not,
I agree
it's
with
not
that.
right. Who else has a question? Yeah, hi. She asked, what was it like to go from Erica? What show is that?
Was that from Unfriended?
From Unfriended to World Beyond.
Oh, I love that. I did Erica when I was like 19 or 20 years old. Actually, younger than that. I might have been like 18 or 17. It felt very similar. You know, it's a lot of screaming and a lot of crying and fighting for your life. But Erica was a tough one to do. You know, we shot everything on like iPhones and a MacBook the way that they wanted to do the movie. But you know, you do a character, then you just kind of have to snap out of it when you're done, if that makes sense. I do have anxiety. I've been really open with all that kind of stuff. But acting helps with that because you're playing somebody else and you're not really thinking of who you are and what's going on in your world, which is why I love it so much because I get to go and pretend to be something else. And usually by the time I'm done with the scene or with the job, I'm not thinking about what was making me anxious.
Yeah, it's really interesting how that works, huh? Where when you're pretending to be somebody else, it just kind of goes away.
Yeah, it's awesome.
You know, why is that? I guess because you're just not revealing yourself, or I don't know.
I think so, yeah, because you're getting into the head of whoever you're playing, and that can be whoever you want. Sometimes they don't give you a backstory, so you can make your own backstory. Be like, all right, this person does not have anxiety, and they are super normal and cool.
They feel great all the time.
With regard to that, what unwritten backstory did you give Hope in your performance?
I gave Hope that maybe her mom gave her up at a really young age. She couldn't take care of her. So Hope was always going to be the child of a single mom, and that she wasn't really going to feel at home anywhere and not connected to anything. And because that's kind of how it felt with her. You know, she was like, the world's not going anywhere, so what's the point of everything? You know, and I think that when you're in the womb, maybe these feelings start to kind of come up, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like babies are very intuitive.
They'll absorb things.
Yeah.
All right, I have a few random questions. So when you came back for season 2, were you surprised to see that Nicholas Cantu had grown like a foot taller?
Oh my God. His suit didn't fit. The Tuffy stitch was like, his ankle was here and the pant was like right there. And I'm like, you're my height.
Yeah. He suddenly became a man, it seemed like.
His voice got deeper. All these things were happening, and I was like, oh, we've really done it this time. We waited way too long.
Yeah, because towards the end of the series, they start showing flashbacks of when you guys first started, and it's like, he's a little kid in there, but that worked really well. But
I didn't watch that flashback scene, but I remember we all wore the same clothes that we had in season 1, like same sizes, same everything. And I was like, this does not fit Hal's hair. Hal had a wig on. And, oh God, that was so fun.
Another random question. So wait, do you watch? You don't watch?
Not recently.
Well, I mean yourself. Like, did you watch World Beyond?
No.
You don't want to watch?
No,
Andrew Lincoln never watched himself, so you're like
you just know what went into the scene. What like, oh, we did 39 takes of that, or oh, I could have done that differently, and maybe I was looking in the wrong direction. So
I would think you might be curious in any scene where there's like lots of CG or something to see how it came out. Not so much.
Not when I'm involved. No.
So maybe you won't know the answer to this question, but because there was this crazy scene at the very end of the series. Did you see that?
Do you want to remind me the scene?
Yeah, so they're in this French lab. Okay. And they're seeing, there's this woman who's got this old PC, and she puts, or is it a woman? Yeah, she puts a cartridge in, and Hope's face comes up. No, I'm just kidding.
I don't think I was in that scene.
No, it was weird. It's not. It doesn't even really seem like it's all that related to World Beyond. But she's seeing a video of Jenner from the first season of The Walking Dead, the scientist. I don't know if you remember.
So I remember when they were talking about that scene, and everyone's eyes lit up because they were like, oh, this has something to do with the original Walking Dead.
Yeah.
So I think that scene...
You should watch it. It's really interesting because they shot her.
I should watch my own show.
You're not in it, so maybe you won't mind. But they shot. Some guy came in and shot her, and then she turned into a zombie really quick, but started running at the door. So she's a different kind of zombie. Like they're bringing fast zombies into the world. It was crazy.
She also seemed self-aware as well. Like when she woke up, it's almost like she
Angry.
realized she was a walker, and she was like, no, and that's when...
Oh, this sounds so good. I have to watch it.
Yeah. I think it means... I think it's so funny. Yeah. It's so weird to me that you guys on the show don't experience it the same way that we do. I mean, it's just the way it is, but it's a really good show. You should check it out. And then the last random question. Do you hate the Amazon Echo?
I can't even FaceTime my friends because I'll be like, hey, Alexa, and all of a sudden you hear, yes, what can I do for you? And I'm like, it has ruined my life a little bit.
Yeah, I would think that'd be really annoying.
And
do you you must give it a different name then or something?
No, I'm just like, hey, Alexa, shut the fuck up.
That's hilarious. Oh, I'm so sorry. They should have given it a different name. Hi. What you got, yeah?
I want to see her grow up, and I want to see her find a family of her own that she creates, whether that's in a spin-off or anywhere. I just kind of want to see where her story goes and just to see more of what she's capable of, because I feel like we left it a little bit unfinished with her smarts.
Did you ever find out any vague ideas of what Matt Negretti might have had in mind past season 2?
No, I had no idea.
Oh, okay. Thank you. One thing I wanted to sort of get your take on is one thing I really liked about World Beyond is that, Robert Kirkman always, for Walking Dead in the comic and the show, kind of wanted it to be about just everyday people trying to, they're not everyday people, they're kind of icons, but they're not scientists. They're not going to cure the zombie apocalypse. They're never going to find the reason for it. They're just trying to survive. And I thought it was so cool that World Beyond is like, no, these are people trying to do something about it in various different ways, trying to get rid of the zombies or bring them all into one place and blow them up and all these different kinds of things. Did you think much about that difference in the two shows?
I didn't. The only thing I thought of was like in the original Walking Dead, they're not born into it. Like it just kind of happens out of nowhere. Rick wakes up and all of a sudden the world's coming to an end.
Yeah.
Our characters, they were really young when it happened, and maybe the world was a little bit more advanced at the time, so they had a different outlook on how they were going to approach it.
Yeah.
It wasn't just, hey, run around with guns and let's shoot everything. It was, let's build a campus colony. And
yeah, that is really interesting. That's another huge difference in the show that is focused on these younger people. And so I wonder, did you have to try to get in the mindset of someone who doesn't really know civilization?
A little bit, yeah. Like it was weird not having a phone or anything. And you're just kind of with yourself. And it's one of those things where it's like you live in the campus colony and you're just doing the same thing over and over again. You're waking up, you know what the world has in store for you.
Yeah. It probably is harder for someone your age to imagine that, because when I was a kid, we didn't have phones either.
Well, okay. My dad had a pager. All right. So, and then he had one of those like flip phones.
Right. The Razor.
I had a Razor. Yeah.
But ironically, so you're playing characters who don't have as much experience with civilization as the characters on The Walking Dead, and yet you have more civilization than they do because you're in this campus colony, and also your fashion was way more on point. That was interesting, right? Like that you guys got to have some cool stylings and stuff.
Yeah, wardrobe actually got a lot of crap from the higher ups because they were like, why do they look so nice? There needs to be more dirt all the time. But yeah, it was cool. I think our characters focus on how to make the world last a little longer, and the original focus is more on just survival.
But so that's interesting. The higher ups were like, you need to mess them up more. But I imagine that the directive for how you did end up looking, did that come from wardrobe, or did Matt Negretti want it to be like that too?
It was a mix of both. Yeah.
It really made the show stand apart. That was another thing. Like, wow, they're so clean on this show. Does anybody else have any more questions? Hi.
Okay. Okay. Sorry, I have anxiety.
This is good because I think this is being recorded, so your question will actually be heard that way. So we can.
Oh, okay. That doesn't make my anxiety better. If Hope, say Hope was going, this is like a total what if scenario, and I'm asking you this as like Hope, the character. If Hope was to go on to Fear, they did collide, the AMC did something like that, what would Hope want to bring to the table to survive with them?
I think more science stuff, kind of bring her knowledge to the table and be like, all right, well, maybe if we do this, we won't be screwed for this much longer. Mm-hmm. Just kind of bring her intelligence. And also, she's getting pretty good with an S-pole. And I don't think they have S-poles on there, so.
That's great.
No, her and her.
The recording, yeah.
Okay. So let's say you, Alexa, not Hope, but you woke up tomorrow and it was a zombie apocalypse, but somehow you got a choice of where you would be living, including all of the realms of the Walking Dead universe. So the colony, the campus colony, or the hilltop, or Alexandria, or Commonwealth, any of those places, where would you choose to?
I think I would go with the campus colony, just because it seems the most advanced, and I don't do well in rural situations.
Makes sense.
I grew up in LA, so. But yeah, I think I would definitely go with the campus colony and hopefully have my family with me too.
When you were playing those scenes towards the end with the truth was really coming out about what the CRM was doing and why, did you ever try to let me see if I can understand their point of view, or were you just no, they're bad? No,
I did try to understand it a little bit, because at the end of the day, they were thinking of the bigger picture, but there was also this bit of selfishness involved, of this power dynamic of, oh, we're the strongest, we're the best, all this kind of stuff. So
yeah, so not as pure as they might like to think about why they're doing what they're doing. Yeah. Plus, they're killing thousands of people.
That was messed
up. Was there any room during filming to have any little improvised scenes or bits here and there if you and your fellow actors in rehearsing, I would like to do it this way instead of this way? Did Matthew Negretti or the directors throughout the episodes give you a little bit of leeway with that? If you want, I want to do the scene over, but I want to do it this way, or was there any kind of room for that during the process?
Yeah. Oh yeah, the directors on the show were amazing, and they were very lenient with what we could do. And Matt was super open to hearing what we wanted to add to the show, which was really great. So there is a little bit of all of our ideas in every episode. Yeah. What's something you said when he asked you that? It was mostly my actions, flipping people off. I did a lot of that. Most of the time it wasn't written in there. What else? Funny. Yeah.
Green girl.
We got another one over here.
Cool.
So you keep talking about the Expo. What kind of fight training did you have to do? I mean, Hope doesn't do a lot of intensive fighting like Felix or oh my God, her name just escaped me.
Huck, yeah.
Yes, thank you. But did you have to do any kind of specialized fight training to learn how to use it?
Yeah, we did a lot of fight training for both seasons. Mostly season 1, because the S-pole was new, so we were all kind of getting used to how it felt. We would have 6 hours, 4 hours, 3 hours of fight training. Season 2 was a lot of fight training in between scenes, whenever we had a free minute. But yeah, Hope and Iris, we didn't have as many crazy scenes just because we were younger, and Felix and Huck have been more seasoned with the fighting and all that kind of stuff. But
that's the thing that you stab into their heads and turn it and they just kind of explode? I think so. Or there was a longer one too. Okay. I didn't know for sure if that's what you were talking about, but the thing that that Silas gets that's different? You know that long pole they stick in their heads and it just goes.
Oh, I think that's different. Yeah.
Oh, that's a different
Yeah.
one. Okay. Did anybody else have any? Yeah.
How does it feel to be one of the only characters on The Walking Dead to drop an F-bomb?
So honored. So honored. They kept telling me, do you know how lucky you are?
You are.
And I was like, I do. And I want to get like a little GIF or a GIF or however you pronounce it of that, just that one little piece.
Are there other ones that have? Okay, so we should do a panel
now
on
I'm
just
really honored.
the F-bomb panel with Alexa and
Jeffrey Dean's probably very jealous.
So when you look back on your time doing this show, what stands out?
I feel like I made another family, you know, with everyone and the fans and just how welcoming everyone's been. And I mean, what stands out is the weather in Virginia because it's miserable. It was hot and it was really cold, but I'm going to say this in the most positive way. The struggle of the show is what stands out because it pushed me to lengths that I did not know I was capable of. So yeah, Walking Dead has showed me that I can do a lot more than I give myself credit for.
So you made a new family. Which of these actors are you more like bonded with or in touch with?
Well, I lived with Hal for season 2.
Oh wow!
And that was so
Good roommate.
He needs to do more dishes, but he's a great roommate. He was always there if I needed someone or for anything whatsoever. But I think him, Nico, that's Jelani, and Leo.
Nico is
Felix.
Felix.
Yeah, I think and the guy Joe Holt who played Leo. He's in LA now, so I've been seeing him with my mom like literally every day.
That's cool. I'm so glad they gave him a bigger part in the second season because he killed it, right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, it was really nice. Oh, we have another one. Okay.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
I just had a couple of questions, or one question, I'm sorry. You talk about the different, it's almost like chapters, because you were at the school, and then you made that huge trek, and then you were at the science school of whatever. When you were on that trek, it seemed like you guys got really close as actors or whatever. I guess the question is, how did you guys work together in terms of getting to that next point? Because it seemed like when you were at the school, they were very young, you were very young.
Yeah. And
then that whole seasoning process, how did you kind of get to that point? So when you went to the labs, everything kind of came together with Huck and everything else with the whole deceiving thing.
How did we get to the point, writing wise, or just?
Yeah. I mean that as writing, working with the writers.
I didn't really get to work with the writers because it's a whole different process and from what I'm doing. But I think they pulled a lot from like what was going on in the world at the time too. You know, just like the divide that we've all been kind of experiencing. So I think they did a really good job of showing that connection and that possibility of connection with people that may not get along, you know, and working together and actually getting to the goal that they were trying to achieve.
Do you have a favorite part story-wise?
Like moment?
Yeah, I guess.
Big Mo. Season 1, Big Mo, the bowling ball.
Why do I know? That's oh yeah, you were up in the tree.
I was in the tree house, and it was my first night shoot on the show. And at like 6 a.m., I had to like run away from this guy who's like 6'5" and fall into an empty swimming pool. That was my favorite moment by far.
And there was a walker down there, right?
Yeah, he pulled me down there. Yep.
How was that to film that?
Pretty scary.
Were you like talking to the guy in between scenes?
You know, what was funny is I thought he was really cute. Because like
with the makeup on?
No, without the.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Oh, I remember like looking at Aaliyah and being like, "He's really cute," and she's like, "He has a girlfriend," and I was like, "Oh God, I guess I have to kill him now."
Makes it easier to.
It does. It's like, all right, well.
I can yell if that will help.
I need the exercise. It's fine.
So I know you said you haven't watched the more recent seasons of The Walking Dead, but I'm just curious, who's your favorite Walking Dead character and who's your least favorite Walking Dead character?
Daryl Dixon's my favorite. I nearly had a heart attack when Norman followed me on Instagram. My least favorite, I saw an episode from the newer season of Walking Dead, and I can't remember his name, but he wears a tux. He's very proper. He works at that like university.
Lance.
And it's funny, I did Talking Dead with him. And the whole time I was seeing him on the screen, I was like, God, you're so mean on that show. Just so like, there's just something, you're too nice, you know, when someone's really, really nice and you're like, that's not right. No.
You had to do Talking Dead not in person because
I did it in person.
Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, it was really nerve-wracking. But Chris Hardwick made it really easy. He was great.
That's good. He's fun. Hey.
So you said that you auditioned for The Walking Dead a lot. If you didn't wind up getting Hope, which sounds like it was perfect for you, who do you wish that you would have played on if you actually got hired prior?
I don't know. I haven't really thought about that. And I think if I hadn't gotten Hope, I was at the point of like quitting acting. So I think Hope not only saved my faith in The Walking Dead, but also my career. But yeah, I haven't thought about that character. I kind of want to think about that and maybe watch the show a little bit more.
Like, I imagine there's a chance you might have just gotten some side character, right?
Yeah.
Maybe it's best that you didn't get any of those.
Yeah, I'm a firm believer that everything happens for a reason, and I wouldn't trade World Beyond for anything.
Yeah.
So.
And are you doing something else now? You're on another show or something?
I am. I have a show coming out called Players on Paramount Plus, and then I'm doing the reboot of Fantasy Island, which comes out in June.
What's Players?
Players is a show about streamers. Okay. So I'm sure I'll be doing conventions for that when that comes out. But I'm a streamer.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
That's cool. What is it on?
On Paramount Plus.
Paramount Plus. That's awesome. So yeah, are you going to, like, now your excitement for acting is renewed? Do you want to just keep going with it?
Yeah. Oh yeah. This year has been surprisingly busy, and I don't want to stop.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's cool. Anybody else? No? Okay. This has been so great. I love your show. You're really nice to talk to. Your character's amazing, and you did a brilliant job playing it. So thank you for spending some time talking about your experience on the show. Let's give Alexa a big hand.
Thank you, guys.
Hi, this is Maisie Richardson-Sellers, and you are watching Fandom Spotlight. Be a legend and hit that like button, and most importantly, have fun and follow your fandom.